Welcome to the Naomi Show.
Hello, I'm Naomi Robson and I've got Eve Ash here, who's a psychologist who's here to talk about what to do if you're scared to commit to a relationship. Now, Eve, this is pretty common, isn't it?
Very.
Very common. So what are the reasons why people may be scared to commit to a relationship?
I guess the biggest reason is knowledge from the past, and often it's their own past where they've had bad relationships or there's been a lack of trust. Sometimes it can be from seeing their parents have a bad relationship, so their experience of relationships is not good.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually quite common, isn't it? And sometimes it's something that you're not actually consciously aware of too. It may be things from your past, as you say, from your family that you've observed, but really not known how it's affected you. So,
right, but there's probably two types of being afraid of not wanting to commit. One would be the general fear that is so great that it's even if you're not facing a relationship. And the other one is where you're at a turning point, you've been dating somebody and it's moving into that phase of, is this the only person I'm going to date now and are we going to be monogamous?
yes. So when you get to that point, what are the issues that are coming up? It seems to me probably you may be frightened of getting hurt.
Absolutely. You're frightened of being hurt. You're frightened of making a mistake. Sometimes if you're in that relationship that's just starting or you've been going for a while and really it's at that point of commitment, commitment might be, there are probably three big commitments. One is monogamy, one is moving in together, another is getting married. So there's some very big, sometimes it's having a baby together, but
Yes, yeah.
there are some very big commitments, and it could be that the fear relates to a gut intuition that this is not going to be a good relationship for me.
And in which case you would suggest
Well, it may
listen
be,
to that
yeah,
intuition?
listen to that intuition.
How
So
could you know the difference between that and...
you might not, but you really need to take away that desire to be in a relationship and really look at the person. Is this person a good match with my values? What are my values? What do I want long term? What does this person want long term? What are all the good points that make me want to be with this person, but what are the points that could be of concern that might be maybe raising little alarm bells? And is that a deal breaker?
Now, it's not just, we hear a lot about men being frightened to commit, of losing their freedom, of having to compromise and so on. But women also have problems with it as well, don't they?
Yeah, because they don't want to make a mistake. And there's a feeling of being trapped sometimes in a relationship. So, you know, it's quite a big decision in your life. So, you know, it's one that you want to not make a mistake on.
But wouldn't you say that if you were in the right relationship for you, you wouldn't feel trapped, would you? You'd be enjoying the relationship.
Exactly. You'd be really enjoying it. The problem is, though, that it may, I mean, some people commit to a partner who's actually married to someone else.
Yes, they do. That's a good point.
I mean, unbelievably. So, you know, we really need to look at who is this person? What are they adding to my life? Is this really a good relationship for me?
So if you feel that you are frightened to commit, but you do want to move forward and you are obviously looking for love, what would you advise?
I think talk openly with the person. You know, talk about what do we want in a relationship, maybe share our expectations, because sometimes the commitment question in my head is totally not happening in the partner's head. They had no thought of commitment, or they weren't even questioning it. So we want to know that we're on the same, we want to be aligned. And so talking about it with your partner is a huge number one step, and being clear about what we want together. Do we want to live together? Do we want to be monogamous?
So if someone is looking for love and they're contemplating a relationship, but they do find that they're striking fears within themselves, Are there any ways to set up positive expectations about relationships? Because oftentimes it could be because they've just had dreadful relationships in the past. They're terrified of making the same mistake again.
I guess having a really good, clear analysis of your past is the first step, so that you don't keep getting drawn back into it. You just practically say, this is what I learnt from this relationship, this is what I learnt from that relationship, these are the things I want in a relationship, these are the things I don't want. And just being really clear and not immediately deciding that you have to worry with the next person that they're going to turn into that person of the past.
I think that's the biggest fear, isn't it? That you're going to end up in the same situation.
Especially where trust was broken. I think that's the one that people fear most.
Okay, thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
And we look forward to your company next time.
Your love life, let's talk about it at naomishow.com.